Hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming for our first press conference of today. Couple of housekeeping notes to you guys. We're going to have 1 minute of pictures being taken. Talents are going to be standing up here. Once this minute is over, please go to the backs and to the side of the room. Make sure that you leave some space for the volunteers. No pictures are allowed from the front row. No flashes allowed. Please make sure you turn your mobiles off. For you media asking the questions, if you don't mind, please standing and announcing who you work for, just so the camera can get you guys. We shouldn't forget that press conferences this year are being broadcast live at http://bell.ca/movie lover and also available on your smartphone, only on the Bell network. I would like to welcome on stage the director, the screenwriter, the actors, and the author of the film 127 Hours, and moderator Robert Gray.
Up a little bit closer, sort of group hug.
We show some love over there. Everybody look in the middle. Here, guys. You want me to smile? Everybody look at my lens, please. Thank you. Everybody right here.
Guys, that's enough, guys. Would you please move to the back and to the sides, please? Guys, thank you, Robert.
Very good.
Brilliant. The festival's really thrilled to have so many of the people behind this wonderful film with us, and several of them back with us because, of course, they were here last year with Slumdog Millionaire. I'll introduce our guests for the film 127 Hours, which is showing it as a special presentation of the 2010 TIFF. I'll start at the far end of the table with the man who started it all, the author of the novel that the film is based on, outdoorsman, family man, and I don't know if this is the word that he would use, but survivor, Aaron Ralston. Next to him, one of the... Yes, please. Oh. Next to him, one of the three graces whose beauty illuminates his 127-hour nightmare in the role of Rana, Clémence Poésy. In the role of one of the two hikers who he meets at the beginning of his ordeal, in the role of Christy, Kate Mara. A man who seems to be everywhere you look, not just hidden in the canyon, in the role of Aaron Ralston, James Franco. The other hiker, Megan, played by Amber Tamblyn. Welcoming back after his extraordinary success with Slumdog Millionaire, the scriptwriter Simon Beaufoy, a.k.a. Mr. Buffet. And finally, the director, the extraordinaire, whose Slumdog Millionaire showed at TIFF last year and went on to win 8 Academy Awards, the director, Danny Boyle. Welcome back. Who would like to begin the press conference with a question? In the second row, please.
Hello, Juan Carlos Garcia from Mexico City. This is a question for James. Can you tell us a little bit about the preparation, physical preparation for this role, and the kind of emotional things that you prepare also for the role?
So Aaron, the real Aaron, is a very accomplished climber and has climbed, I guess, all the peaks over 14,000 feet in Colorado. So that was the kind of character I was playing, but in this film, the character never really makes it to any peaks. He just gets trapped in the canyon. So I didn't have to learn how to climb. You know, I did go to climbing gyms and that kind of thing, but I guess the main physical thing I had to do is Danny wanted me to lose weight, so I did go on a diet. It's called Science Diet, I think. I recommend it if you need to lose weight. They mail you food that has some flavor, and and you have they give you the portions so you know what to eat and not to eat. And as far as the emotional preparation, I guess, I worked, Danny and I and Simon and everyone, worked with Aaron extensively before, and we had Aaron take us through everything he went through while he was there, and why he did it and what he was thinking, and he even, acted it out for us, or like just went through the physical motions of it, and. But I guess emotionally, the most valuable thing was Aaron. The first time I met him in L.A., he brought a tape that had all the videos he had made in that canyon. And as far as I know, he doesn't really show that to people other than his family and friends that are addressed in those videos. And that was basically. It was gold for an actor, because I got to see him in that situation, in the moment when he was in the middle of it, not knowing that he was going to get out. You can look back at the story in hindsight and say, that was horrible, but he got out. When we see him, when I saw them in those videos, he had no idea that he was going to get out, and. I don't know. It was incredibly powerful, because it was, as far as I know, Aaron. He correct me if I'm wrong, but he made them up until the last day. I guess within an hour or two before he figured out how to get out. And so, what I thought I was watching is a guy really accepting his own death, but not wallowing in self-pity or anything. He upheld this. This front for everybody that he was addressing, and he was really making these videos. It seemed like for his family and friends, so that they have these last images and messages from him, and it was very, very powerful, and that was one of the things that guided me through a lot of the performance.
Question over here, please.
Hi, Danny. Jane Stevenson from the Toronto Sun. I was at the ill-fated, ultimately triumphant screening yesterday.
Thank you for that qualification.
Yes. Can you share with us what was going through your mind as the drama was unfolding? A mini drama compared to what the film is about. But has that kind of thing happened to you before? And do you just kind of roll with it and do the best you can?
Yeah, you can't get too uptight about things like that. It's an amazing festival, isn't it? That it puts on all these movies. And Guillaume Canet, ironically, who I know, I've worked with, and his movie was screening without the subtitles, so they had to move it, and things knocked on. But listen, I think we all feel, and Christian at the back there as well, very proud to come back here because of what happened to us last time. You feel a kind of total obligation. And we rushed to get the film ready because we were determined to try and be here. Telluride in Toronto with this kind of double whammy that we'd had. And we felt a real obligation. So compared to the benefit that we got from Toronto in the past, the minor inconvenience of having to wait in line for an hour or so seemed bearable, really. And especially if we got the chance to apologise for it, really. Events beyond their control, yeah. And it's minor stuff, really, isn't it? So. You just hope it doesn't spoil people's enjoyment of the film or ruin people's schedule, moving on, all that. So,
Danny, I have to say I was so impressed, first of all, by your apology for events that you had absolutely no control over, but also by your solidarity with your other director. That was really, really very impressive.
Yeah, well, he's a very good director as well. But watch out for him. He's one of the up-and-coming ones. So. He's very good, yeah.
Let's talk about rushing, because you'd come off this incredible rush with Slumdog Millionaire. You showed the film here, and 12 months later, you have another extraordinary production. Had you?
It's not 12 months. It's 2 years actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Then I
It's-
wanted- that's what I
time
wanted to know.
flies by, Robert. But yeah. So anyway, sorry. Go on.
That's what I wanted to know. You'd started working on the film when you were in Toronto last year?
When we came for the because obviously
Slumdog.
Slumdog was 2 years ago.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
It seems like
It's fine.
127
no,
hours
it happens
ago.
to all of us all the time.
Good.
I did come to Toronto last year to be part of the Talent Lab, so I was
That's
here for a
right.
few days for the Talent Lab. But yes, we started work. In fact, that was when I handed over the script to Simon. When I came here for the Talent Lab, Simon took over the script because I'd written a couple of early drafts of it to start to get it going, and then Simon took it over. And while I was here, he was working on that, and then we had this idea, which I tried to convey to all the actors, really, and certainly all the crew, that we would make the film at a tremendous pace, because I believed it would affect the texture of the film, the feeling of the film, because obviously the film is incredibly inert in one sense, and I thought it'd be absolutely catastrophic if it remained inert, if it felt inert. So we had this byword that we all talked to each other about, that it was an action movie about a guy who can't move. So we'd keep prompting and forcing ourselves. So we'd make James work. I tried to get him to work 7 days a week. He'd work 6 days a week. And then he had to go back to clock into his college. And we'd force everybody to keep working, pushing, in the hope that would bleed into the film. That sense of restlessness would bleed into the film and make it bearable to watch, really, in a way.
It's not only that it bleeds in the film, it's also the frame that you give the film, starting with the scenes of crowded city life and then suddenly into a world where time is a different
Well,
rhythm.
the idea of that was, I don't know whether people get this, but the idea of it, obviously, at the beginning, I think it reads like, obviously, it's the crowd he's escaping from, on one level, and that's true. I think Aaron and James would certainly confirm that that's what he's moving away from. But, of course, we wanted a sting, really, that actually that was what was pulling him back as well, ultimately. And actually, on one level, provides his succor and actually does, in the end, help him survive. So it has a kind of purpose other than just the obvious one of a nice title sequence, yeah.
Absolutely, thank you. Question over here in the second row.
James, it seems that this was a very intimate and at times very hard shoot. Can you talk about the working conditions? And secondly, is there anything you would cut your own arm off for? And in that case, what?
It was a very unique and intense and very